All right, are you ready? All right, so where are you traveling to? Where are you traveling to? Hello? Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Where are you
I didn't
traveling
hear
to?
you clearly.
Where are you traveling to? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Answer the question. I just asked you a question.
Sorry, my network, so I got disconnected. I just came back from the call.
Okay. So where are you traveling to?
I'm going to Northeastern University, Boston.
Okay. What are you going there to do?
I'm going to pursue my master's degree in industrial and physical pharmacy and cosmetic sciences.
Um, I didn't hear you clearly. Can you repeat that, please?
I'm going to pursue my master's degree in industrial and physical pharmacy and cosmetic sciences.
Okay. So what what is so special for you about this course? Why did you choose this course?
Sorry, please let me just ask you questions. I won't mean.
Okay.
My major is actually regulatory affairs, but what's on my DS1? Well, what's on my I-20s, industrial and physical pharmacy? So am I supposed to
Did you say
say where I'll be concentrating in regulatory affairs? I'm just going to say
Did you say
industrial and physical.
Did you say pharmacy?
Yes, industrial and physical pharmacy and cosmetic sciences, but my course is actually regulatory affairs.
So in other words, you are doing regulatory with concentration
Affairs,
on.
yes. Yes.
So why don't you put it that way?
Okay.
All right. So put it that way. Put it the way it's on your I-20. Then you talk about with concentration on. All right. So what are you going there to study?
I'm going to pursue my master's degree in industrial and physical pharmacy and cosmetic sciences with concentration in regulatory affairs.
So what is so special for you about this course? Why did you choose this course?
I'm passionate about regulatory affairs because of the number of substandard and highly and poorly formulated medication I have encountered while working as a pharmacist. I understand that as a pharmacist, I'm the custodian of medications, and patient safety and welfare has always been my drive. So,
Are you stuck?
yes, I am.
Okay, so try it again. Let's see.
I'm passionate about regulatory affairs.
Okay, have you heard of bullet points before?
Yes, you mentioned bullet points in the last mock I attended.
Yeah. So can
And
you
I thought that just applied to why you've chosen the school.
No, it applies to basically why you chose the course. The reason why I encourage people to use it, when you say I chose this course for two reasons, it suspends the attention of your VO on you. Nobody wants to interrupt you when you say I chose this course for two reasons. So the person wants to listen to you continuously, unless you just violate that focus by making use of long sentences and conjunctions. When you start talking, you start saying and, which is not wonderful. Or maybe when you start, when you violate the privilege. But naturally, everybody wants to hear you out when you say, I chose this course for two reasons or three reasons, because I want to listen to you and hear to the end. So that's why I'm asking, I encourage people, for the sake of my interview, just use it. And if you go there and it comes up that you want to use it, please, because it will save you a lot. So that's why I encourage people to
So
use
is it okay to use it twice, or it just goes once? So, for example, if you're asked why regulatory affairs, and then you're asked why this school, you can use the bullet point as many times as possible.
Yeah, basically for the two questions,
Okay.
if you're asked, why did you choose this course? You talk about it. I chose this course for two reasons. Why did you choose this school? I chose this school for two reasons. It gives you an opportunity to suspend the attention of your VO on you. They want to listen to you to the end. So long as you're making that point, they want to hear the second point and the third point. All right. And when you are talking about why you chose a course, please always remember to mention history past, history present, and history future. I always encourage people to say that, because what your interviewer or your VOs are looking for, they are trying to like put together a logical analysis of your identity, your personality, your history, and you don't need to miss any of those tracks. For instance, if they ask you, what did you study in your first degree? What did you study? Pharmacy. Then, and you are going for what have you been doing? What are you doing now?
I'm working as a superintendent pharmacist.
What?
Currently, I'm practicing as a superintendent pharmacist.
Okay. And then you want to go for your master's to study the same thing. So, when you want to talk about your story, you talk about it in this sense. I majored in pharmacy, in my first degree, and having been working in this area, as a superintendent pharmacist for the past so years, I feel the need to upgrade myself or my experience or my knowledge to be able to, prepare myself for the challenges, or for the, to be able to equip myself with the new trends in my field. And part of these trends, you now mentioned some of the new trends in your area, in your field, in your specialization. But there's got to be a reason why people study, go for further studies. So this is something that you need to just pick out a problem or a solution that you want to solve. All right? Pick out a solution, a problem in your field or in your organization, something that you feel that you needed to create in order to solve a problem. So this is the time to celebrate yourself for that. And then when you talk about it, you talk about it in relation to what you want to do in Nigeria or what you want to do in your place of work, because that's also a reason for studying that. All right? Does that make sense? I don't know if you're hearing me. Does it make sense? Hello? Hello?
Yes, perfectly.
All right. So, go ahead. So
yes, I can hear you perfectly.
All right. So let me hear from you.
I can hear you, sir. Okay, so I'm passionate about regulatory affairs because I'm passionate about regulatory affairs. Having majored in pharmacy in my undergraduate, I'm currently practicing as a pharmacist for over 3 years now. I have encountered several substandard or outrightly poorly formulated pharmaceutical products. These products are either stored wrongly in the pharmaceutical supply chain, and also there's been the unsanctioned commercialization of this product. Patient safety being my drive, I intend to further my studies in regulatory affairs in order to
You're laughing. You see why bullet points can help you. You just knocked off the bullet points. So
because it was too long.
Eh?
It was lengthy.
Yeah, you are the one who made it lengthy. That's why I said bullet points will save you in your point. The first one was okay. I majored in this area in my first degree, and I feel the need to upgrade my experience in this area to be able to solve so problem. Now, this problem you just mentioned. Then the second one, you talk about in your field, in your office where you're working. Talk about a problem that came up, and you feel you can solve this problem. Talk about it. Think about it. You don't have to say it now, but think about a problem in your organization, a pharmaceutical problem that came up that you were able to solve, and you feel you could have solved if you have all the tools. So these are, these could be two reasons why you're going for this. And also talk about maybe a position of authority that you can use, you can get, or you can a position of authority that can help you make a decision. Assuming if you get this qualification, you qualify for this position of authority that can help you make decisions that can change policies or put policies on ground. So these are also reasons for studying courses, right? So
Okay.
why did you choose this school?
I chose Northeastern University for three reasons. For three reasons. Firstly, one of my undergraduate lecturers, who happens to be a role model, is an alumnus of Northeastern University, and he always spoke the praises of Northeastern University at every given opportunity. Secondly, Northeastern University offers five different concentrations. This way, I would not only be getting the knowledge of biopharmaceutical regulatory affairs, but also that of medical devices, food, clinical trials, and quality assurance.
No, hold on. When you talk about some of these things, talk about it in relation to what you want to do in Nigeria. Apply it. Your interviewers are waiting for you to break it down, deconstruct that reason, break it down. These things you mentioned now, how is it going to be applied to somewhere in Nigeria or somewhere in your place of work? How are these?
I'll get to there.
But don't make it long. You said you are getting there. Fire your juices first. You see those good points? Don't save them for anybody, please. Let the good ones come first. They are the ones that will keep attracting the attention of your interviewer. You don't have all the time. So why do you need to save that one when you know that you could have just said it right away and, get away with it? Why do you need to save that information? Do you have a scholarship?
No, I do not.
Okay, so don't save those information. Just strike it immediately. Bring those juicy information out. That's what your interviewer needs to hear. They want you to convince them, and you are wasting that opportunity. You don't have to waste it. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So talk about it again. Why did you choose this school?
I chose Northeastern University for three major reasons. Firstly, one of my undergraduate lecturers, who happens to be a role model, is an alumnus of Northeastern University, and he always spoke the praises of Northeastern University at every given opportunity. Secondly, Northeastern University offers 5 major concentrations. This aligns perfectly with my desire to work at the National Agency for Food, Drugs,
Listen. When you talk about 5 major concentrations, that's an ambiguous statement. Can you break it down in a way that it applies to you personally? Personalize those concentrations. How is it going to help your research? How is it going to help you to solve a problem in Nigeria or to bring a solution to Nigeria? That's what they're looking for. Don't say things that anybody can just go online and Google and post. Okay? Say something that can make you stand out.
So
All
I
right.
would work on this particular
Okay.
point and
All right.
work the next mock session.
All right. So that's an area I wanted you to focus on. Okay.
Yes.
Then who is sponsoring your program? Who is paying for your program?
My dad is sponsoring me.
Pardon? Who is sponsoring your program? Or who is paying
My
for
dad.
it?
My dad will be sponsoring me.
Period. They may want to know. Yeah,
My dad will be sponsoring me.
I heard you. I said they may want to know what does your dad do, how much does he make, just to make those connections. Sometimes they may want to ask, do you have other people who have has your dad sponsored anybody overseas? All that. If you have any of your sisters who are studying,
is it okay to say no? He hasn't, but he has a number of people who is sponsoring here in Nigeria.
What?
Or I shouldn't say anything.
What?
I said he hasn't sponsored anyone overseas.
Okay.
He has not sponsored anyone overseas.
So,
is it okay to say that he has a number of people he has sponsored through their studies here in Nigeria?
No, it's not necessary. What they are trying to do is they are trying to look at your background. They are trying to ascertain, okay, if this person has gone, the chances are higher that this person can go. So, but if you don't have, don't worry about that. If you have, you can bring it in. Those things are just supporting statements, just to help to boost your argument. But if you don't have, don't let that worry you. All right?
Yes.
Then, are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have dependents?
No, I'm not married and I do not have kids.
Period. And congratulations. So the questions may come in this way. It may also come in other ways, but the most important thing is for you to understand the argument. So it must not necessarily come this way. The questions will come in such a way that what I'm here to do is just to guide your ideological wavelength, guide your argument and your logic, so that when questions come, you can see what they are asking or what they are planning or what they need from you. So don't wait until it becomes how do I say it now? So don't
black and white, like.
Yeah. So don't save your juicy answers. Just once you have the best answers like you have earlier, don't save them. Bring those good answers first. Then you can save your explanation later. And make it short and simple. You see those long statements you were using, they are not good for you. So you can make it as short and as simple as possible. All right? All right. Is anybody going for interview today? I don't know if there's anybody going for today. All right. If you have any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll talk to the next person. So, anybody who is ready, I'm ready. Yeah, anybody that's ready, I'm ready to go next. So, yeah, that reminds me. Ame. Yeah, hold on, Ame. Are you listening?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is this your first visa interview? I forgot to ask you that.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and have you traveled out of Nigeria before?
And?
Have you traveled out of the country before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right, I forgot to ask you those questions.
All right.
All right. Next person, if you're ready. Somebody raised their hands or wanted to ask questions. Go ahead. So we're not going to stay long tonight, okay? So I can do other things I needed to do. All right. Anybody Anybody
I'm
that's
ready to next.
all right. So where are you traveling to?
I'm traveling to Edgewood College, located at Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay, hold on. Genevieve, are you going? You posted your transcript. Are you going?
Sorry?
Genevieve, you posted your transcript. Are you go? Are you? Do you want to interview? Do you want to be interviewed?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so after
Yes.
Akintoye, you are next. So
Okay.
what are you going there to do?
I'm going to study a master's degree program in business administration.
Okay, so why did you choose this course?
I chose this course for 3 reasons. Firstly, I studied urban and regional planning in my undergraduate level, and I worked with the Ministry of Urban Development. During one of the urban planning processes, there was need for a change in business processes to meet sustainability, and I realized that most urban planners had little to no knowledge of this, which prompted me to want to take this course to change the game, as I plan to start up a planning firm when I return to Nigeria. Secondly, I'm working on a research which is the role of effective communications in the development of businesses in Nigeria, and I plan to work with a professor in communication studies, Dr. Lee Maxwell.
Hold on. You see, you are talking about urban and regional planning, then you changed course right now. Are you doing 2 courses, 2 master's degree?
No, just one.
Be very careful, because my connection I was flowing before now, and I'm sure everybody listening here can testify. I was connecting with your arguments. You studied urban and regional planning, and then you are also working in that same field. Then you talked about the problem and the solution you wanted to bring. Then the next thing, you change into business. Can you put a relationship between that business and urban and regional stuff?
Yeah, I was saying.
Do you get what I'm? Hold on. Did you get what I'm spotting? Did you get me? Like, does it make sense to you what I'm seeing?
Yes, I actually linked it.
Okay, please, can you do that again? I want to get that link. Maybe I missed it, but I want to get the link between how you move from urban to business.
Okay, but if I'm going to go deep into it, the last time I interviewed with you, I went deep into it, and you were like, what I'm saying is too lengthy, so that's why I reduced it.
Yeah, you have to still reduce it, but we are looking at a situation where you can summarize to the lowest common multiple. Like, summarize it in such a way that you still have your point, but anybody listening to you will not be distracted or confused. Because when you are talking about urban and regional, then the next thing you switch to business. What is the connection between this urban and regional planning? Now, you may bring in real estate into it. I'm just giving you that link, right? Bring in real estate industry into it. That might help you as a lift. I'm just suggesting. Is there any way you can bring real estate industry into it? You're quiet. This is choking, right?
I'm not really sure, because I've not worked in a real estate firm, and the ministry I worked at, the Ministry of Urban Development, is what I put in my DS 160.
Yeah, but
so I don't want to say I worked.
Yeah, but the real estate industries, you are like their regulators. Real estate industry cannot do without you guys. Do you understand that? You are a regulator. Urban and regional planning, what they do is to make sure that you follow the rules in terms of urban planning, in terms of everything that needed to do before doing siting and clearing and everything. And real estate industry cannot do without you guys. So how do you connect the real estate industry as a regulator, as a state agency that regulates this industry? When is your interview?
September.
Okay, you still have a lot of time. So, I'm trying to think. I'm a little bit distracted. So, having been working in this area, working in the agency as an urban and regional planner. So, okay, sorry. Before that, what are you going to study? Business what? Hello?
Business administration.
Okay, business administration. So, yeah, I'm sure you can see what I'm struggling with. So the business administration, how I don't know if you get what I'm struggling with too. So the business administration.
Okay, can I link like my field with, can I say it again, because I actually linked it, but I don't think you really
Okay,
got that part.
okay, go ahead. Let me listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the
Okay.
interruption.
Okay, so I want to study this course for 3 reasons. Firstly, I studied urban and regional planning in my undergraduate level, and I worked at the Ministry of Urban Development. During one of the urban planning processes, there was need for a change in business processes to meet sustainability for social and economic reasons, and most urban planners had little to no knowledge on how to carry out this change in business processes to be able to meet sustainability, which prompted me to want to take this course in business administration, as I plan to start up a private planning firm once I get back to Nigeria.
Okay. All right, you nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. That's okay. And
Sorry?
I also like the courage in your voice that you were not sounding scared or something. So that's okay. If you can sustain that tempo, that's good. And so you answered why you chose the course. So why did you choose the school? Remember, these questions may not come this way. I'm just using this as, as a template. The questions may come in so many ways, but the most important thing is for you to understand what they are asking and what they want from you. All right. So why did you choose this school?
Okay, I chose this school for 3 reasons. Firstly, this school was recommended to me by a friend of mine who is an alumni of this school. She spoke so well about this school and she's been doing very well. Secondly, I'm currently working on a research on the roles of effective communication in the development of businesses in Nigeria, and I want to work with a particular.
Can you break down that business? Can you break down that business? You see, I'm still trying. Can you break down that no ambiguous statement? Can you break down that business? That thing you said, businesses in Nigeria. When you talk about businesses in Nigeria, please just add, talk about this. What is it called again? I mentioned it earlier. You remember what I mentioned before?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, when you talk about business, don't just hang it that way. Can you break the business out, break it down? Don't just use ambiguous statements. Your VOs want to hear you talk about something in detail, what you want to do. Don't use ambiguous statements. So you can talk about those businesses, you can talk about real estate, the real estate industry, which is also connected to what you're doing, right? So use real estate to connect it. So real estate industry is also part of the business industry that is also growing, which is also linked to what you're studying. All right?
Okay.
Do you have a scholarship?
Okay, let me take it again.
Okay, take it again.
No, I don't have a scholarship.
So why did you choose this school?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Why did you choose this school?
Okay, I chose this school for 3 reasons. Firstly, this school was recommended to me by a friend of mine who is an alumni of this school. She spoke so well about this school and she's doing well for herself, which is why I chose it. Secondly, I'm currently carrying out a research on the roles of effective communication in real estate business in Nigeria. And I want to work with a lecturer in the school who is a professor of communication studies, Dr. Leigh Maxwell. And I want to, I don't know how to put it. I want to work with him on possible ways to solve these communication problems.
What kind of communication?
And thirdly, I run an
What kind of communication? Effective communication in real estate. Tell me about it.
Okay.
So for me, that is not compelling. That's angle, like effective communication in real estate. Break it down. Is there any way you can break that thing down? Effective communication. For me, I'm not thrilled by that statement. So use a better statement that will present your argument better. When you say you're doing a research on effective communication, what kind of effective communication? How does it apply so strongly to compel me, a VO, or compel your VO to make a decision based on this? Your point might be good. Maybe we're talking about semantics now. Maybe choosing the right word to present it. So you may talk about maybe modern trends in real estate industry, modern trends, some of the developing trends. Then go online and look for real trends in new real estate and how it connects to businesses. You might want to do that assignment. Look for new ways or new developments in real estate industry, and then look for businesses and businesses and real estate industry. Just look for Google these two.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what did you say?
What did you hear last?
I didn't hear the last statement you made.
So what did you hear before that?
You said I should research on the communication problem in real estate.
No. So what I'm talking about is go on Google and check for modern trends in real estate industry as it relates to business or businesses. What are the new lines or new areas in real estate business or new businesses in as it relates to real estate industry? Find out there has to be a middle line there that can help you to maybe take up this link. What you're looking for is just a semantic, a language to connect these two. So far you're in line, but I don't want you to use that word like communication. What are we communicating? Like, do you understand me? What are you communicating in real estate industry? So that thing you are communicating, break it down. Your interviewer wants to hear it. Okay? Then talk about a third point. You said you are working on what? Or you have something.
Okay. I currently run an NGO, Upright Mentorship Program for women in Nigeria. And I want to study this course to gain adequate skills to be able to move this organization forward.
Hold on. You see, this is over information. How does this third point connect with real estate? I said this is over information. How does this third point you mentioned, this NGO, how does it connect with urban and regional planning and your business studies? How does it connect? Please just save yourself that energy. Don't include that part.
It's an organization.
Yeah, but it does not connect to your point. It didn't add anything. So I would be very careful. And this is what I told the guy that went today. And I told him, don't add this. Yesterday here, I told him, don't add this information when he was talking about his parents, and eventually added that. So just be very careful.
2 points each. And 2 points enough.
Yeah?
For the questions.
What?
Can I give 2 points each?
Yes, you can, but make sure that the points are solid. Yes, you can. Absolutely. But whatever point you are submitting, make sure that the points are solid. Make sure they are convincing enough so that when you're talking to your VO, they will believe you and they would understand, okay, you know what you're saying. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. And, okay, you said you don't have a scholarship. So who is sponsoring your studies?
My brother-in-law.
All right. So make sure that your brother-in-law. So normally people will ask. They may want to ask because here, here, anybody who would normally sponsor you, in a school like this will most likely be your parents or maybe your direct siblings. But when you say your brother-in-law, they would want to know, why is your brother-in-law sponsoring you? Why would your brother-in-law sponsor you? Has he sponsored anybody before in your family? So the argument has to flow concurrently. Make sure you have that argument. Has he sponsored anybody? If he has sponsored someone, then that's a good argument. If he has not sponsored anybody, then that might be a red flag for you. So if that person has sponsored someone, good. So mention it. Talk about your sister, your sibling, or anybody he has sponsored. When you mention that, who is sponsoring you? My brother-in-law. He was also, now that is where you now strike. You talk out of turn there. He also was the one who sponsored my elder brother or my elder sister or whoever in your family. So you can talk about that way. So link that because it's more convincing. Okay, this person has sponsored somebody before. And so in Nigeria, it's normal that we have long distant family members that are also part of our family because we are all closed together. It's not the same like here in the US. So because you have that kind of family ties, mention what that person has done and whoever the person has also sponsored before, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you know the location, if the person has sponsored somebody overseas, mention it. The person has sponsored somebody overseas and the person is, either still studying or back. And it's an advantage. It adds to your argument, all right?
Okay, if I say okay, if I say he sponsored somebody or one of my siblings to whatever country, but not the US,
it doesn't matter.
Would they quickly research on that? Check for it?
No, they don't have that time. What they do is to build an argument. They want to build an argument. Okay. Has this person sponsored before? They want to build a pattern. So if someone has sponsored someone in your family before, the chances are that, okay, yes, the person has also sponsored. And then they may want to know, what did he sponsor this person? What did your sibling study? Is he back? Is he still studying? And they may want to just build on that. If the person is back, good. If the person is still studying, good. But if the person studied and still stayed back, be very careful. So you have to. Because they're building pattern. They want to know who you are. So all these things are ways that they want to build a pattern regarding your identity or your personality. If someone that is your brother was sponsored and after studying and then he hadn't gone there, he didn't want to come back, the chances are also, they may look at you like that. Oh, so you have someone who didn't come back. How am I sure that you're going to come back? So you don't want to send those red flags. But it's good that you use that argument to support your case, particularly regarding your in-law sponsoring you. And last question, are you married? Do you have kids?
Sorry?
Are you married? Do you have kids or do you have dependents?
No, I'm not married. I don't have dependents.
Okay. They may want to know what you're doing, how much you're making, in your current place of work and all that. But so far, so good. Just work on these areas that we just talked about, and congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, Genevieve, who was the next? Who was the next again? After you.
Hello?
Who was the next person? Were you the next person, Genevieve? Were you the next person? Okay. All right. So, where are you traveling to?
I'm traveling to the United States of America.
No, that embassy. Hold on. That embassy is the United States of America. You don't need to mention it again. They know already.
Okay.
So when they ask you that question, it's just about your school and the location of your school. Is this your first interview with me?
No, this is my thought.
So why are you repeating this mistake? Please, if you know whatever I've suggested before, please just cue into that.
Okay, this is my first interview, yeah.
With me?
Okay. First, yes.
Is it first with me?
Yes.
Okay, now I get it, because anybody who has been with me doesn't make that mistake. That's why I'm asking. And is this your first interview?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is this your first interview?
Yes, my first interview with you, yes.
No, I mean first visa interview.
No, this is my third visa interview.
Okay, now your case will change. I'll retract a little bit. So I'll ask you, what has changed in your application since your last interview?
Okay. Now I have gotten more funding from my present school, and also having understood my course of interest, I have changed my course to psychology, as nursing will just limit me to the bedside of my patients. My psychology will give me that avenue to be able to find solutions to emotional problems of people in my country.
So normally I encourage people, when they ask you what has changed in your application since your last interview, I normally like to use bullet points. You can use it if you want. If you don't want, you don't have to use it. I normally encourage people to say 2 things has changed in my interview, in my application, or 3 things has changed. First, I've gotten more funding. What is that noise? Oh, can you stop whatever you're doing that is causing that noise?
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to also hear what you're saying. It's cracking.
Because there's a noise from your background. So
let me off it. Let me off the fan then. All right.
So normally I encourage people to say 2 things has changed in my application since my last interview. First, I've gotten more funding for my program, to the tune of blah blah. If you want to say it, you don't have to say it, but if you want, you can say it. They already have that in your I-20. Then another thing is the second one you mentioned. You also changed your course to specialize in psychology, which is, what did you study in your first degree?
This is a BSc.
Okay.
I'm going for a BSc, yes.
Have you done first degree before?
I've actually done first degree before.
Now,
but I'm not mentioning it though.
Did you mention it in your DS 160?
No, I didn't.
I don't know how old you are, but that might raise a doubt. They will look at your age and ask you, why did you choose this course? What have you been doing? They want to track back your age and see what you've been doing that you didn't do first degree. And so you must have a compelling.
I just turned 22. So I don't
know. Okay, 22. Okay. So that's okay. That's fine. So, you need to cover that